Hey everybody, welcome back to Uru Complete Chronicles. We are here in Sharper's office, here in the Agura city. Or, I think Agura is actually a district in Dunny, not really a city. But anyway, we are going to go back to Teledon, because we've got some stuff to follow up on. Sharper indicated in his new journal that there is a spy room that he used to spy on the DRC and what was going on over there. As you might recall, Sharper mentioned earlier that in the first journal that he did not trust the DRC, and understandably so, after some of the things were going on there that we got wind of. And I can actually show you from here what happens when you call the elevator up. It's pretty cool. You see that part there and you're like, oh, you can get on, but then it turns out that you need to wait till the whole thing gets into place. So Sharper indicated that the entrance to this spy room was located within the slave cages in Teledon. So we're going to need to keep a closer eye out for what might lead to that. So let's go back to the beginning. I mean, alternately, we could have just gone back to Relto and linked to the beginning of the age, but I figured it's been a while since we've been to Teledon and not just gone through the journey doors, so might as well just take in the sights, right? Come on. Get out of there. There we go. Alright. Climb down the ladder here. I believe Sharper also indicated that this spy room contained the Relto book for Phil Henderson, the character that supposedly died. In the DRC/Yisha conflict. And, by the way, I should mention here that, despite all the language that's being used, I don't believe that the DRC did anything to orchestrate Phil's death. It definitely did seem like an accident, from all accounts, from all angles of it. The thing is, I'm not exactly sure what the original intent for the story was going to be when they were talking about all this in the context of the live game. Alright, so we need to figure out which of these is the one that we removed as part of the solution. Because we removed the one that was for number 4. And I don't actually remember which one number 4 is. Let's see here. Is it this one? Nope. Should have made a copy of that map from earlier. Oh well. We'll figure it out. Just takes a little bit of trial and error, I guess. There we go. Third time's the charm. Alright, so what are we looking for here? There didn't seem to be anything in the previous room. Wait a minute. Aha! There's a book over there. It definitely wasn't there before. But the enclosure containing it is now covered when we open this up. Well, Sharper did mention that this kind of hinged on the backside of Teledon being secure. And we can actually get over there through the journey cloth that we've touched over there. So let's do that. Now, alternatively, if you didn't have a journey cloth, you could just go around the whole age, and this is where lowering that bridge at the very end of the age that connects back to the power source area, that's where that comes in handy. So if you didn't touch a journey cloth, you could backtrack through to the beginning, go outside to where the power stuff is, and then cross back into this area, and then go back to the prison. Providing that you lowered that bridge, that is immediately after the prison. And I'm trying to remember where we are here exactly. Oh wait, this is the path that leads out across from the journey door, isn't it? Wait, no, that's the backside. Yeah, this path is the one that leads... Yeah, okay, here you go. Just had to get my bearings there. Alright, let's see this spy room here. I really like... This is one of my favorite locations in the game. I really like this area here. I can see why Sharper enjoyed his solitude here. It's a pretty neat place. Of course, I don't know what it would smell like with all the mushrooms and all that, but... I do love all these woody earthen tones and the steps and all that. It looks very organic, and I really appreciate that look a lot. I don't think we can see that area that we got the dock Relto page from here. It kind of looks similar in the way it's built to this staircase here. But I think that's in another area of Teledon, presumably one of the ones that was in that map in Sharper's office. I'm assuming that they would have opened up additional content in Teledon eventually, but they never got around to it, sadly. So this is the book that presumably leads to the spy room, so let's check it out. Well, it seems like we're in the right place, because this is the Sharper music theme, I think. We got a couple of linking books here. Before we use any of those, let's check out what's over here. There is a hat. It's pretty cool. And a telescope. Well, this must have been what Sharper spied on the DRC with. And we can see a room that contains some folding chairs, a book, or a few books it looks like, and a board on an easel here that says Bob Ogubo. Whatever that means. Alright, we haven't heard any mention of this character named Bob Ogubo so far. That's kind of curious. Where does this go? Oh, that leads right back to Sharper's Teledon office. Okay, I don't think there's really anything more to pick up around here. I don't see any Relto pages or anything strange to find. Yep, it's looking like this is about it. So let's go use this book. And this was the book that Sharper talked about in the journal, the one that leads to Phil's Relto. He said that this was the book that Phil thought he had with him when he was on top of that precipice. So let's check it out. Maybe it holds some more information. Alright, well we're inside the library. I like this hat that we got. I'm guessing this was Sharper's hat. I think I'm going to keep that. It looks pretty neat. Let's open up the windows and stuff here. It's a nighttime Relto. Well, he's got the dock and the islands. And I guess this is what the big tree that you get from Kadish would look like after you let it grow for a while. And it's also raining. It's very somber in terms of a mood. He's also got a moon in the sky. It's pretty cool. Even the music's really somber. Alright, let's take a look inside and see what he's got in his library here. First of all, let's check this shelf. Looks like there's something here. This is the normal book of Proverbs that Yisha leaves everybody. But he left a DRC outfit here. I guess you could wear this if you sided with the DRC. I don't know where this would have been available in the online game, but you can at least get your own copy of it here. And you get this. It appears to be a journal. Returning. It is odd being here again after losing myself. I don't feel like part of this, and yet I feel like I am here for something. Odd. This restoration is not right. It's not that it's wrong, just that it will only rebuild, not restore. Rebuilding is about slicing and fixing on the outside. Rebuilt trees make fences and walls. Restoration is about growth and life on the inside. Restored trees make fruit and shade. She is making sure that the tree has begun to grow again. What is Dunny? What is this kingdom? I have read of Dunny the people. I have lived in Dunny the place. I have spoken Dunny the language. A kingdom is made of both life and belief. It is only real with both. Lives without belief is a kingdom of cards only waiting to fall. Belief without lives is a kingdom of dead, only waiting to live. I know a little, but I only think I know more. I see a little, but I only think I see more. I understand a little, but I only think I understand more. I seek a little, and I know I will find more. I can never know, see, and understand. I can only ever know, see, and understand more. I talk to many people today, but I don't really know them. How can I know other people? They are revealed only in their words and actions. I suppose only really in their actions. Words are easy. I talked to many people today. I am growing. And I am growing anxious. And I am growing weary. And I am growing closer. And I am growing up. And I am growing impatient. And I am growing leery. And I am growing wise. And I am growing less and less. My seeking feels like it comes to an end. Now I feel like I am called higher to become lower. I will find them again. They are calling me. I don't know why, but I will know when I find them. I remember what they showed me before, and I must find that again. I hear them even now, calling me. She has heard them. I can't resist. I am going. Some very sobering thoughts in there. It seems like the implication is that Phil found some kind of enlightenment by communicating with the Barrow, or something to that effect, and has gone on to live with them. And maybe the accident could have been his way of ending his relationship with the DRC and moving on to something else. So maybe he is still alive, maybe more than ever before. Anyway, he's got a bookshelf here, and on the bookshelf we can actually see several different books, including the ones that are a part of the games here, although we can't use any of them. So this is, of course, Ages Beyond Mist to Dunny, and then this is Path of the Shell stuff over here, which we haven't yet gotten to, but there's additional books here on the far right and then the lower shelves. And these presumably would have been books that you could have used if the game were to last even longer, but unfortunately we can't use them. There's only one book that we can use, and that is this one. And this behavior, by the way, I should say, is a callback to the way the online component actually works when you go into someone else's library, because you cannot unlock these books if you are not in your library. Only the person who owns them can unlock them. And there's a single book here that is unlocked. And this looks like a neighborhood, but it's not the same neighborhood we saw earlier. It's lighted a lot different. Let's go check it out. Also, you can't go into Phil's closet. I should also mention that. This one definitely has more of a blue tint to it. And the layout seems to be mirrored compared to the last one. Let's check out what's here. Looks like there is a list of visitors, like the other Bevan neighborhood we were in. And we can actually see that all of them, with the exception of us, were DRC folks. That's interesting. Alright, well, let's take a look around. Looks like the fountain is not running. We've got a number of fire marbles here as well. It doesn't seem like there's any signs directing anybody anywhere. Here's the garden, although this one I don't believe offers you a Rialto page if you were to go on this side. Nope, nothing there. The lights are also off in this garden too. Oops, there we go. Had to navigate through that. Yeah, it pretty much looks like a mirrored version of Bevan. Let's take a look around and see if we can get access to any of the stuff upstairs. Yeah, this is one of the neighborhoods that doesn't have a dunny clock out in the center here of this middle area. And if the location placement is right, this should be the classroom. And it looks like it is. Let's see what we've got here. The last group is leaving at 5. You are on your own after that. Victor Laxman, vlaxman@drcsite.org, will be organizing any contact on the surface. Write him if you wish. Goodbye, Dr. K. Assuming that's Kodama. Doesn't seem like there's really anything else to see in here. Just the usual classroom stuff. That's pretty much about it. I guess this is supposed to be a DRC base of sorts. This is probably where they conducted a lot of their operations and met. Let's check out, speaking of meeting, it's probably the next place we should go is the amphitheater area. Let's cut through here and see what this leads to. Is there any linking books here? There's the Nexus book, but we know what that leads to, so I'm not going to really worry about that. Although, I'm going to register my key here, just so we have a link through the Nexus. Alright, let's go check out what's on the other side with the amphitheater. See if there's a dunny garbled message over here. This one's a lot less lit than the one in Bevan.
Hello? Test? Test, Victor, are we on? Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hi. Thanks to Victor, we've gotten some additional Denis technology working. It should be quite useful in sending messages here from the Dakota to the numerous neighborhoods as one more way to keep you informed of how things are progressing. Let me begin by once again welcoming newcomers to Denis. We're very pleased to have you. I know I've spoken with a few of you in person, but to those of you I haven't met yet, welcome to the restoration. The DRC and restoration engineers have been working very hard to put things in order. As you've probably noticed, various areas of the island, Agura, have been opened over the past few weeks, with quite a bit more scheduled over the next few days, weeks, and months to come. We are also working on opening up several new ages. And what we know that many of you have been given access to ages that haven't gone through any kind of process yet. And we certainly do not encourage use of any unapproved books. But let's just say that with your safety uppermost in our minds, we're pushing to approve those ages just as quickly as we can. Oh, and several of you have asked what you can do to help with the restoration effort. As you may already know, the Denis keys have the ability to determine their precise location here in the cavern as well as in other ages. Much of this functionality is governed here in the cavern by the Great Zero. Victor has recently succeeded in getting portions of the Great Zero functioning again, but he tells me it still needs to be calibrated. We'll soon begin to focus on another island area, the ferry terminal and its associated docks. We actually had some restoration engineers do some diving, and they found a sunken boat that we hope to raise at a later date. Before that, however, we will inspect the docks and approve them for public access. Now, let's see. Yes, outside the cavern, Garisen continues to progress nicely. Victor's team has recently made some discoveries that will enable us to open up more of the interior space. The wall is what we call it. Members of our team are also working on another age that should be opened within the next few weeks. Perhaps we will post some pictures. I will end by addressing some peculiar events that have been occurring. Odd stones, books, cloths, and pages have been reported appearing from time to time. Rather than insist, probably unsuccessfully, that you not use these oddities, the DRC will for now simply wash its hands of any consequence arising from their use. In other words, if you use them, you do so at your own risk. We will continue to remove these artifacts if they're found, but so far that has proved fruitless. But, well, I'm sorry to say it this way, but anyone involved in the placing of these books will be banned from the cavern. But to end on a good note, thanks for all the continued help to all of you and patience as Dunny slowly begins to grow again.
Alright, so that was a message from Dr. Watson, who, like Zandy, was actually also voiced by David Ogden Stiers, giving an address about what the DRC was doing at the time they were here. But that still doesn't really help us with what we're working on right now. Well, we have one loose end to address from the spy room area, and that was that sign that we saw. And the sign said Bob Ogubo. And the sign was located in a room that the DRC used, and this neighborhood is a DRC neighborhood. This place, by the way, is called Corel. I don't know if that's actually named in the game, but I do know that's what it's called, so we'll just continue calling it that from now on. And this door also is non-functional, kind of like the way it was in Bevan. Alright, well, we need to figure out what Bob Ogubo is, and I'm proud to say that I actually was able to figure this puzzle out on my own. This set of lights are blue, green, and orange, or B, G, and O, which are the only three unique characters in the name Bob Ogubo. So let's push the buttons in that order and see what happens. Let's start with blue, orange, blue, orange again, green, orange, orange, blue, and then orange, which lights all of them up. Alright, nothing really seemed to happen there. Oh, wait a minute. Something did happen. This is now on. Wasn't exactly the most obvious solution, but I guess if you look around thoroughly enough, you can find this. And this is a room that we were not able to get into in Bevan. It's a room with a link stone in it and a giant egg in the middle. Let's take a look around. There's all kinds of link stones. Okay, you know, a lot going on here. Alright. Well, I think what we need to do here is pretty obvious. We need to go check out all these link stones and see where they go. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start... Let's see here. Actually, I'm going to start with this one. So all of these link stones, as it turns out, lead to various locations within Dunny itself. And I'm not actually going to go out and explore yet. The only thing I want to do here first is register our key here, because each of these locations has one of these pedestals. That way we can get easy access to these places later on. And we'll just go back to the Nexus and go to Corel. It's worth noting that you do not get a Corel book on your library. You can only access it either through Phil's Relto or through the Nexus. So we'll just keep repeating this process until we get all 5 link stones used. And I'm not sure, just because we're using them through link stones, if these get added to the Agura book as well. I'm guessing not, but maybe they do. Alright, let's just repeat the process over again. Thankfully the room is just right here, so it's not really that much of a trip to make. It's kind of weird walking through a neighborhood like this, knowing who used to be here. Let's do this one next. This is definitely a different one. So there are 5 of these stones total. Again, would have really enjoyed this area. And this area seems to be an alleyway or something. Okay, let's go off here. So the previous one was called Concert Hall Foyer, or Foyer. Let's see what this location is called. Kind of wish you ended up right here at the panel so you don't have to turn the camera around by walking forward, but it's not that bad. So this is Dakota Alley, so we must be near that rooftop that we read all the notebooks on earlier. Let's see, Corel, let's go there. And we've got 3 more to go. I figured if we get the tedious stuff out of the way now, then at the very least it will be a little bit less painful to get around, because there's really nothing else to see here in this neighborhood. It's pretty much empty. I want to say, now that I'm thinking about it, the live version of this game, like including the current iteration that you can get for free, actually have a key notebook inside. I forget what neighborhood's classroom, but definitely information about it. Alright, so this is some kind of enclosed area. Well, let's just lather, rinse, repeat. You know, I don't know if I've ever said this before, but I really like that Link sound. I know that Cyan and the other companies who have made Myst games have experimented with different noises, like that thing from Riven, and then there's kind of like a version of it that was like both sounds combined in Exile, Myst 3 that is. So this is the Palace Alcove. It's interesting. And I think Myst 4 had something very similar to that. It kind of sounded like a whooshy noise, because you flew through the flyby on the linking book panel every time you touched a linking panel, and the linking noise was a part of that movie. But I don't know, I love the simplicity of the original Link sound. I think it's really neat. Alright, only 2 left. And there is one I'm saving for last for a reason. Just to get you all excited. Alright, we went there. Let's go to the next one over, which is this one. Alright, that looks like a very imposing building there. What do we got here? Ooh, we got music in this location. That's pretty cool. Well, we'll have to explore it later. We're just collecting links for now. Alright, one last time. And go to Corral. So that was the library courtyard. So that building must be the library. I'm guessing they used to have a bunch of linking books back there before the fall. Alright. Let's see what this final link is all about. Go this way, and then this should be the only remaining room. Alright, looks like we're going to be inside something there. And can we even calibrate our key here? Or not calibrate it, but register the link for this place? There's something we can use here. Oh hey, we can put our key in there. And we get 5 green lights. Well, we're going to have to figure out what those are next time. So until then, thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will catch you on the flip side.